Namaste and greetings to all. Welcome to the first episode of One Way of Thinking About It. One Way of Thinking About It is a Q&A session with me, Freedom, answering questions from human beings that have contacted me from around the world with deep life questions. I will be answering these questions from knowledge that I have obtained from the external world, from my understanding that comes from my life experiences, and from my deep knowing that comes from my connection with existence. So with these three factors, I will be answering to the best of my ability, to the best of my understanding at this time. So with the foundation laid of the Q&A session, let's get into our first question. Our first question is coming in from Florida. Florida's checking in. Florida's in the building. Yes, welcome. Thank you. So our question reads, when it comes to loving your partner, how much access and full disclosure should be given to protect them? So we're going to look at this question at from three parts: loving, access and full disclosure, and protecting them. So starting with love. Love is, as we know, it's such a subjective word. Depending on who you talk to, has a different definition of love. What I have started to piece together and started to come together with, trying to understand love on a universal level, is identification plus attachment plus unselfishness equals love. So when you identify with a person, when you can see yourself in a person, that creates that identification. So with identification, the more and more you contact a person starts to create that attachment. And from that attachment, if you can be unselfish with this attachment, that creates love. If you can't be unselfish with this attachment and you remain selfish, most human beings inherently are selfish. So if you have identification plus attachment plus selfishness, then that becomes possessiveness. So to stay with love, identification plus attachment plus unselfishness equals love. So moving from love, looking at love through that lens, through that context, we'll move to access and full disclosure. Access and full disclosure is a choice that we make, a decision that we make. Most decisions, 99% of our decisions that we make, actions that we do, are propelled by two motivations: fear or desires. So we have to look at what is making us act, what is making us question giving full access and disclosure to our partner. So if we're acting out of fear, of course, we're going to question the access that we give our partner, because the fear could range from losing them to hurting them. It's a whole slew of things that can come up around fear. So if we are acting out of the desire of wanting love from this partner, then our actions are going to propel us more towards full access, full disclosure of ourselves. Because in order for someone to truly love us, we want them to identify with us. And to be able to fully identify with us is for them to know who we truly are. So moving to protection. Protecting a partner emotionally, mentally, is not our job. Our job is to love them. Our job is not to protect them. When we look at protecting a partner, we're more looking at how to handle them. Because in trying to protect them, if we were trying to protect them, that would be a full-time job mentally of trying to think of what to say, what to do, all of these things, because we do not know what we could possibly say or do that would cause them to not feel protected mentally or emotionally. This would be, this is something that falls on the individual to do as individuals mature and grow internally, spiritually. You start to look at, can I handle the situations that come in from the outside world? Can I handle the thoughts and suggestions and stories that the mind creates and is constantly bombarding us? Can I handle the feelings and emotions that come from these thoughts and stories? This is what the spiritual path helps you on, is to be able to handle ourselves as an individual, to be able to sit with yourself and to see these things for yourself. So therefore, you don't need the world to handle you. You don't need a partner to handle you. You don't need anyone to handle you, because you are learning or know how to handle yourself. Because ultimately, the world, a partner, can never handle you, can never protect you mentally or emotionally. They can handle you, but not protect you. Protection is something that only comes from the individual knowing what they need. So to go back over our question, when it comes to loving your partner, how much access and full disclosure should be given to protect them? If the love is truly there, identification, attachment, unselfishness, access and full disclosure will come naturally. And from that, from access and full disclosure, you would know that protecting them is not something that you could do. Loving them, giving them full access and disclosure to you to be able to protect themselves or to handle themselves is ultimately where we should want to be in a relationship, because full access and full disclosure of who you truly are, now you are able to see if this person is loving you for you, not how you're trying to handle them or not what you're trying to show them at certain times. They have full access to know who you fully are inside and out, and they can make that choice to love you or to not. If this is something that they can relate to, if this is something that they can identify with, if this is something that they can accept, if this is something that they would want to be involved with. So there's the breakdown and answer from my way of thinking, from this way, from one way of thinking about it. So I will reach out with the questionnaire to see if their question was answered in a manner that they can understand and digest. If not, we will add a continuation to this question, and we will go ahead and jump back into it. If not, I think this is a wrap on this question. Much love, peace and blessings to all. Question everything that comes in from the outside world. Question everything that arises in our thoughts, in our own mind, and question everything that arises in the heart, from our feelings and emotions. And let's evolve as human beings, mentally, physically, intellectually, spiritually. Namaste.